The following is a presentation of the Eagles Sports Network.
Let me have it. Hey, we're excited about being here. Coach talked about the coaching staff, and there's just so much to talk about. Talk about our foundation. Talk about Jesus Christ and everything that we do, everything that we are about is centered around Him. Then talk about this defensive coaching staff. Man, we're really excited. Scott Brock does an outstanding job with our inside linebackers. Coach mentioned Brett's story. Brett moved over from offense and is just he's done a great job with our outside linebackers. And when we talk about our outside linebackers, we talk about our guys that we call them, one's a Sam and one's what we call a Fox guy, kind of a hybrid guy. All those guys are in his room. He does a great job with that. Antonio Goss does a great job with the DBs, and he will work in particular with the corners, and I will work with the safeties. He does an outstanding job. Johnson Jameson is our D-line coach, does a real good job. He's got those guys playing hard. And then Zach Kasner, our grad assistant, man, he keeps us going. So we're excited about our staff. When you start talking about depth, and I started writing names down, and then I said, I need a pen a little bit more, because there are so many guys, and I'm not going to mention all of them, but when you start looking and you look at our corners, Jalen Anderson, Kendall Williams, Champ Baker, you guys are going to hear about him. He's a freshman that's doing outstanding. Brian Sanders is a guy that's in here, transferred, that's doing really well. Jackson Ward is another corner. Those 5 guys can go play, all right? So we're excited about that depth. When you look at our safeties, there are 4 guys that can play. Callum Clemens, Juice, or Major Williams, we talked about him, big-time leader, big-time football player. And then Jet Jones and Cameron Henson, kind of good football players. When you talk about our defensive ends, I mean, there's some names. I'm going to throw them out. Nick Owens, Trezell White, David Alexander, Ja'Cory Long, Trayvon Barnett. All those guys are going to play. So we're excited about them. You look at our guys inside, and you start, again, you look at guys like A.J. Hunter and Jaheim Wilson, Jordan Wilson. All those guys Rod Williams, those guys inside can play. Getting numbers again, that really helps you depth-wise. Look at those guys outside as the Sams, Frank Lee and Caleb Goins, Jelon Walton, and just going. Fortune Woods is a new guy that we've added. Just kind of go on and on. I just hate. I put these down here because I just don't want to leave anybody out, because they're really good inside linebackers. Alonzo Houston is really playing well. D.D. Brooks backs him up, and then you have 2 other guys that at your will backer. Dre Williams, a transfer from Wise, is playing really well. Jake Cottle backs him up. Man, we're really fortunate to have some outstanding guys that play really hard, great effort. Coach talked about pad level. I think that when you start asking, hey, what do we need to get? We've got to get better at pad level. We've got to get better at the fundamentals of getting off blocks, running to the football. That guy's going to run to the football. But now let's just do the other part, and let's go make some plays, stop big plays, have some fun.
So you also talk about the depth, but a lot of that depth is guys that have experience starting last year. So how important is it that a lot of the guys there have that starting experience that will help you guys take a step forward in the program?
Well, I think that is big from a leadership standpoint. To have those guys back, a good example of what you're talking about is Alonzo Houston. He's much better. He's come a long ways, but they do it on the field. They're going to talk, but they do it with their actions.
What's a realistic expectation for this defense? How do you guys hold teams to 0 points, I guess? Which isn't realistic, I guess, but.
Our objective is to go out and stop everybody we play, and we start with stopping the run. and then that gives us a chance to be pretty exotic and kind of get after people. We're going to go play hard. When you put it on, I can't say what the score is going to be, but I can promise you this: they're going to play with great effort. They're going to play with they'll be fundamentally sound, and we're going to make some football plays.
The line looked really strong today, but for you, where in the defensive side, where's the strongest unit you think so far?
Well, I think just overall speed, team speed. You know, you just hate to zero in. Obviously, you want to start by be really good up front, and I think the thing that helps you up front is the numbers, being able to get those guys out there. There was a drive today that you know, offense taking it. I think it was maybe 15, 16 plays. Well, we rolled guys in, and at the end, you know, they handled that adversity well, got the drive stopped, and that was good for us. We needed to see that.
Rattled off a ton of names in this, but and I know coaches hate singling out one player, but who's one player that you've seen in this early part of camp and been like, wow, they really took that next step forward?
Wow, I can several guys. You know, Alonzo Houston is a guy that played last year that's just playing lights out right now. Frank Lee is a guy that's playing really well. Ja'Cory Long, outside. I mean, those guys can run. They can play. They were here last year, and they're just so much better. And then you add a Major Williams, who is a big-time player. The thing that you see with those guys, and because of their experience, is just their ability to make plays, to see things, to go to go play, to go react, to go play. Sometimes see things before they happen and play because they've seen them before.
Would you say that maybe that's because of the leadership, that's being able to have a good understanding of the game, take command of the defensive unit, like about the leaders that you have on that side?
I think so. I think the thing that you'll notice about this defense is how they communicate. They're going to talk. They're starting to recognize certain formations, talk, communicate. A lot of noise out there, and that's good.